Welcome, Sagittarius, to your Mars in Taurus 6-week forecast for the ascendant, the sun, or the moon. From May the 18th through to June the 28th, Mars, the planet of action and thrust, moves through the Earth sign of Taurus. We can talk about Mars in Taurus from a general viewpoint, but what would it mean for you personally? On screen, I'm sharing your event chart from a purely Sagittarian viewpoint. The exact moment that Mars arrives forges an event chart, and all the other planetary influences feed into that, providing a backdrop for these upcoming weeks. I'm also going to tell you about two aspects. Through the last 10 days of May, a rather challenging square between Mars and Pluto. Through the last week of June, a rather brilliant aspect between Mars and your ruler Jupiter. By the end of the forecast, you'll have a clearer understanding of what's upcoming in terms of your energy, work, relationships, or finances. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundel. A very warm welcome. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so now to help it to continue to thrive. But please also click or tap the bell notification symbol. So the sign of Taurus is very much about foundations. It's an earth sign, and it's ruled by the essential energies of Venus, but it's also fixed. So Mars here has a very not as fast moving energy as in Aries, which it rules, but a very applied one. It can be persistent and patient to a degree. But for you personally, Mars in the sixth house can give you a lot of spark around your physical well-being, the sixth house. And we just had a new moon in that area too. So you may already be in motion in terms of changing or upgrading or amending certain approaches, whether it's to do with the amount of exercise you get, what you're eating and drinking, the amount of rest you get. It's all reverberating around the heavens already. But what Mars does is bring more thrust, more energy. And Mars here can also give you a desire to think about your life organization. Now, if you are someone who perhaps is a little laid back, particularly to routines and details, which can be the case with Sagittarius people, and because Uranus was rattling its way through this area for 7 years until recently, making it very difficult to get any kind of rhythm going at all, Mars will make you even more determined to change things up, but productively. But Mars in the sixth house can also be where we use our thrust and energy around our work. And the sixth house for Mars is intriguing. Because Mars rules the first house, that's very much about our identity. If it's in the 10th house, it wants a lot of attention. In the sixth house, it can use its thrust to assist others, provide services. So those are all the themes that are upcoming. But what about the other planetary influences? Well, we do have a lot of energy in your sector of relationships. Uranus is in a conjunction with Mercury, which can bring a lot of excitement and potentially sudden connections or sudden separations. But we also have a delightful, really quite special link between the moon and Venus in the seventh house for you personally. So it's possible that around a relationship, there may be some excitement and there may be a connection, but you need to make it work in a practical dimension. But Mars and Venus are in a beautiful sextile, but Venus then moves into the deep and intense eighth house of your chart, where she's going to be from the 19th through to the middle of June. So I think that's a very good portent for the potential for connection, deep connection. But where you have that connection could be surprising. This Mars sixth house energy on the back of the new moons suggests a gym, a swimming pool, a fitness suite, could be in the local supermarket, anywhere incredibly mundane, even at work, could see a connection pick up. But Venus is going to be moving towards your ruler early in June and coming into an exact conjunction on the 9th. That's very, very hopeful for your long-term finances, and it could be sizzlingly hot for a special connection too. But what about that square between Mars and Pluto through the last 10 days of this month, which peaks on the 26th of May? Well, Pluto for you is in the third house. So your ideas and beliefs could be going through a period of transition, or it may be your connection to your local community. It could also be that the power of your words and your ideas are pinging out across the internet. Third house, very much to do with that. But the sixth house can be about sacrifice, and Mars really isn't so much about that, but it can be more sacrificing in the sixth house than anywhere else. But maybe you're going to feel a bit conflicted towards the end of May. Essentially, you can't please all of the people all of the time, and it may be something that you like to do may be the need to apply your routines and do your job and maintain your obligations could in some ways conflict with what you really want to do, and it could create a very major standoff. However, by the end of June, Mars has moved forwards to just about where the Sun is now and is linking to Jupiter, which is coming to the end of its journey through Cancer. And the link between them means that if you work hard and you're very focused and applied in trying to improve lots of the details in your life, whether it's scrutinizing your resources, your incomes and outgoings, whether it is getting a bit fitter, being more mindful of what you're eating and drinking, being a bit more disciplined, perhaps about what time you go to sleep, doing a job which gives you a sense of satisfaction, you get a big crescendo in a fabulous way as June comes to a close. I'm going to unpack all of this in terms of those four areas of energy, work, relationships, and finances next. But just to say, I've slashed the price of my personal horoscope reports. It's now three for the price of one. The one you pay for is your life roadmap report, helps us to understand the patterns that are played out in our lives so far and get a more intimate understanding of how to work with that energy future forwards better. Free, your 12 months transit forecast, and also your draconic soul karmic analysis. If you don't have your North Node late in Pisces or early in Aries, your draconic chart can look very different from your nativity. But it helps us to look at ourselves and astrology in a fresh and different and profound way. Please see below for more. If you've yet to watch your May monthly forecast, it's on the screen. If you've yet to watch your Uranus 78-year solar return Cazimi, that's on the screen. If you'd like to work with me one-to-one, it'd be an absolute pleasure. Please see my testimonials below. And if you've yet to take advantage of my free daily written horoscope, fire to your device each morning for your early day celestial pit stop, you can sign up below for that too. So as far as your energy is concerned, if you're open to being more virtuous, Mars will give you the drive to make some very important and helpful changes. When it comes to your financial situation, if you can scrutinize the detail of things, but again, be very disciplined, the early part of June could see a big breakthrough around your financial situation. When it comes to relationships, the collective in your seventh house is very much to do with need and stimulation and excitement. If you're not getting it at the moment, you could find yourself being a bit more critical. And perhaps it may be you who's saying to a partner, look, you're not doing enough of the domestic chores. And that could be the clash through the last part of May. But equally, if it's at work, you may feel that you're not being able to concentrate on the detail because someone is somehow putting their agenda on you. That could be a bit tasty through the last phase of May. But however, I feel through the last week of June, something really fabulous could happen if you're applying for a job, looking for some kind of improvement in your situation. As far as your overall circumstances are concerned, I think this is a very exciting opportunity for you, but it does require you to look at the small picture when your natural tendency is to see things on a grander scale. So all the value comes from Mars in Taurus by doing things in a step-by-step, detailed way better. Thank you so much for joining me. All the best and look forward to seeing you again soon.